So one more thing I've noticed is that most actors cry in the same way in every film. Like you cry like you mostly. And I've seen many great actors also who are brilliant at their work, but I have seen them cry the same way in multiple films. How do you change that? Because crying is something which is more about your facial expressions, and you have a set facial expression when you're crying. How do you change the way you cry?
So there is a way to do it. When we're going to the truth of the emotion, so when you being truthful in your crying, the expressions are usually how you do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what if you give yourself a note about the character? Something as simple as someone who's introverted or someone who's extroverted. Small, simple term. Okay. Now imagine when you cry, you do more. Or that's what ends up happening externally, and you've seen yourself on the screen enough times to know that about yourself. What if in that moment you say, I'm going to be truthful in terms of my emotion, but in the expression of it, I'm not going to express it completely. So emotion is true, but the expression is probably like 20% lesser than how much you would have expressed. It's like somewhere your character is a kind of person who's inexpressive by nature. So you're not allowing yourself to express it, even though it's coming completely. So sometimes a small change like that will make it look different. And you can also do the opposite. If you're somebody who just weeps and doesn't allow yourself to howl, then tell yourself, okay, for the scream example, that the moment that comes, just scream a couple of times and the editor will take that out. But what follows that scream is going to be a slight more expression than you would have ever done till now. So sometimes we always have to be truthful in the emotion, but the expression of it we can very subtly change. We can very subtly do certain things. Like imagine you've seen yourself, let's say in 3 films cry, and your body behaves a certain way.
Yeah.
And now tell yourself, this time when I'm in that emotion, I'll just have that awareness that my body is not doing that. Being truthful, but the body will not do what it always does. For example, if the body does something like this, then maybe you've just become this and you're somewhere here and not there, or whatever. It's about changing it slightly, because emotion will always have to be true.
And your expressions will somewhere be, your muscles move the same way, like when you cry. It's just, and also if you start thinking too much about what your face is looking like, or am I doing the same expression or not, the emotion goes away.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why it's important to approach it, even these changes that I'm talking about, they need to be approached through the lens of the character. How is the character slightly different from you? And then try and go to that expression.
Yeah.
So it'll also be true to the character, and it'll also be different from how you've done it.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes the smallest of things, जब कैमरा यहाँ होता है, you just say हर चीज़ पकड़ लेता है. The smallest of things make a huge difference, especially in cinema.
Yeah.
The smallest of gestures make you go a long way.
Yeah.